Yes, yes. So the music industry, we all know what it looked like, man. You know, I hear you talk about in your music, you talk about the mumble rappers and all that other stuff, and you said that you were somewhere similar to like rapping about that stuff because that's what you know, that's what you kind of grew up on. Your favorite people
Right.
was rapping about a certain subject matter. So, what got you to like? Because I haven't heard all of your music. Your first song that I heard was a White Boy. I think that's what it's called, White Boy.
Yeah.
And like what sparked you to like do that song? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put it together. You come from, you know, some of that hip hop rap music, destructive music, you got a hard pass, and at some point you turn it and say, bro, I'm finna make this song and I'm finna just express this. Like what got you into making that first song, White Boy?
Um, Honestly, man, it came about like pretty organically. I'll give you the little preface to that. Like all the mental breakdown stuff happened. Moved to California, and um, Nova, my girlfriend who shoots all my music videos, and she's also an incredible artist herself. Like we've been friends for like 14 years. She put me on her first rap show. That's how we met. So she's in California at that time because she has a deal with Island Def Jam as a rapper. She's unreal. So I come out and I stay with Nova for a little while and sort of like rekindle our friendship. And then I have some stuff happen in my life. My mental breakdown is, I'm starting to put myself back together, but I'm still kind of, all over the place. So we fall out for a little bit, reconnect a few months later, hit it off. Everything's cool. Nova and I are living in like the hood in LA. Like we're living in South Central. Like we got like holes in the ceiling. There's water pouring through in the kitchen. The crib's full of rats. Like if I go into the kitchen and it's dark and I turn on the lights, there's cockroaches crawling everywhere and stuff. Like I'm the only white person in probably like 20 miles in every direction, bro. Like it's crazy. Like everybody knows, oh, that's the house where that white kid with all the tattoos lives. Like that, So like our life's falling apart. We don't got no money for groceries. We don't got no money for rent. Like things, it's not good. And dude, it's like so crazy. It was like on some meant to be like universe, like by God, like blessed. Like it was crazy. Like I go outside one day, I got half a cigarette left in this cigarette pack. That's all I got to my name, bro. Like I don't even have $5. Like we don't have food, nothing. I go out and I sit on the front porch with this half a cigarette. I light it, I smoke it, and I write this song. By the time I'm done smoking that cigarette, I had written this song called Dear Rappers. Mm-hmm. And something just like clicked in my head that day when I wrote that song, and I came running into the house and I was like, Nova, I just wrote this song. It's going to change our life. I swear to God, I just did it. Like, I was like, I need you to shoot the video right now. She's like, you haven't even recorded it. I was like, I'm going to record it. While I'm recording, set up the lights, pull the backdrop down. Like, let's get this thing done. So boom, 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 record it, shoot the video. I got no money to release this thing. I hollered at 5 homies. I borrowed like $100 from a couple of them and $200 from a couple other ones. I ended up with like $1,000. I put this music video on Facebook. I take the $1,000 that I just borrowed from like my sister and my homies. I use it to promote that video. And 2 days later, it had 1 million views, and like the rest is history.
Dang.
So yeah, like crazy. So this is how we get into Whiteboy. So Dear Rappers goes off, does really well. So now I need a follow-up for Dear Rappers. And there's hundreds of thousands of people showing up at this point in time. And I don't have the infrastructure to deal with it. I don't have the knowledge of social media. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah. So I come up with this other record called Hell of It, which was sort of like part 2 to the Dear Rappers. And it was just like criticizing the status quo of hip hop and the message in hip hop and the effect that it has on the youth and blah, 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 blah. So I do those 2 songs, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden there's like 50,000 people like on my Facebook and my Twitter, all calling me down saying that like, yo, like you wrote these 2 songs criticizing black rappers. You're a racist, like blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yo, you guys, like, I'm not criticizing rappers of a particular color. I'm criticizing rappers of a particular content. and you've taken that way out of context. So you have something to be angry about on the internet. Now there's all these people calling me a racist and blah, 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 blah. And being the only white boy in that neighborhood and hearing all of this stuff that people are saying on the internet, again, was just like this perfect mixture of angst and anger and just feelings that I was having. And I just put all that into a record. And that was Whiteboy. And little did I know that that was going to cause 50,000 times the amount of bullshit that the other songs caused.
Yeah, bro, that song was fire, bro. I mean, that's the first time I heard of you, but then I didn't connect the songs, the more recent songs with that one. But that Whiteboy song, if for the people that's on here, I'm interviewing Tom MacDonald. You can see his name on his next to his face. One of the most incredible rappers that I've heard. But that Whiteboy song, if people haven't listened to it, at some point y'all got to check it out. But you're in the classroom, and it's funny because I got to ask you this too. I'll get to it in a second, because I'm wondering, like, how did you get these people coordinated to do this? Because you got a couple brothers in there and they all kind of like playing along with it. But I mean, you in this music video saying what every American wants to say. I'm talking about reasonable American. I'm not talking about these lunatics on either side. I'm talking about reasonable Americans are like, you can see that there's an attack on white men in America, and somehow if you got white skin, you somehow associated with slavery and all of this stupidity. So how did you get those people to cooperate? Like, how did you get that music video together, and how do you think that changed who you are, or who you were, or who you are today as an artist? Like, did that have a pivotal step for you as an artist?
Okay, so the way it came together, and I'll get into the second part, but the way it came together was, dude, I wrote that song and I rewrote that song and rewrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it until it was in a place where I felt like I was actually saying what I wanted to say. Good. People couldn't take what I was saying out of context. They couldn't distort the message, which they ended up doing anyway. So, which I should have known, but didn't have the experience at that time, which is fine. But dude, like, that neighborhood that I was living in, I knocked on my neighbor's door one time at 9 p.m. at night, and he opened the door with a gun in my face. Dang. Like, it's a tough neighborhood. And I knew who my neighbors were, and none of them were white. And I invited all of those guys into my house to listen to that song before I ever decided, hey, I want to shoot a music video to this. And these guys are not, they're not playing. Like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to name drop and that type of stuff, but like, these are serious people. Yeah. So I brought them into my house. I showed them the song and we discussed it. And there was like some objections to some of the things I was saying, and which I even like, I didn't disagree with. Like, I see both sides of it. Like, I get it. Like, I understand that like what I'm saying is going to ruffle some people's feathers and is not going to fit the narrative that other people live their life by. Like, I get it. But we were able to all talk about it. And at the end of the day, shake hands. Okay, have a good day, guys. Still ate barbecue with them. Still worked out with them in the mornings. Never had another problem about it. So that conversation with those guys kind of was like, gave me the confidence to like, okay, they didn't necessarily like everything that I was saying. They understood it though. And at the end of the day, like, we're all still neighbors and we're all still friends, and there's no problem. So when I cast the music video, I thought it would be unfair to bring, like you said, there's a couple brothers in there. So I thought it would be unfair to bring everybody into that classroom environment and then just be like, okay, we're shooting a music video. Like, too bad for you, motherfuckers. Like, you're stuck here now. So what I did was I stood at the front of the classroom with those 20 folks in there, and I played the song for them. And I said, if anybody has any objections to what you just heard, if anybody does not want to be in this music video, you'll still get paid. You're free to go right now. You do not have to be here. I'm not holding anybody's feet to the fire. You are free to leave. This is the song I'm making. This is the music video we're shooting. And I opened up the floor to let people raise their hands and have a conversation. I think one or two people did. they didn't really say anything. They didn't really object too hard, and everybody chose to stay. And we shot the music video.
Bro, that's lit. I was waiting. I when I first heard it, I was like, man, if I ever meet this dude, I'm gonna ask him, how in the world did you get these people to be in that music video and cooperate? Because I feel like they all played a really good part, and they were really their characters, and you were just in there going hard. So I want to transition to a couple other things, you know, so we can hit a few sections, because I know people want to hear a lot